The topic for today, a topic that has been sweeping the nation, the topic that has divided households, communities, factions, groups, political parties, both aisles, religions, and the such. Gender roles in relationships, gender roles in the household. What do we do about this? What do we say? Who does what and when and how? Who controls the narrative? Who controls the house? The man or the woman? Me? I believe that men control the household. I was watching something earlier. This documentary on wolves and wolf packs. And it states that wolves have a specific order of things. You have the alpha male, then you have everybody else. When a wolf pack kills an animal, the alpha male eats the best parts of the animal, of the carcass. The liver, the heart, the stomach, the intestines, the meaty, fatty proteins. And the rest of the animals, they get what's left. I feel like that is how nature wanted it to be. Gender roles is easy. Just look at nature. What say you, Ray?
What say me as it pertains to gender roles? So let me ask you a question here, because you started out, you had the introduction, you referenced a pack of wolves. So are you suggesting, or better yet, are you saying that the male is the leader in the relationship?
Yes, the male is the leader of the relationship.
So are you suggesting or stating that the male has the final say so in every decision pertaining to that household and relationship?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Yes.
So when it comes to finances, the male has the final decision as to what should be purchased and what should not be purchased.
The male should have the final say. And you could just look at the evidence when that is absent, because most households in America are single woman, single parent, whatever. And it's been chaos. 7 out of 10 Americans don't have $1,000. That's probably because it ain't a man in there to tell them what to do, when to do, what to buy, when to buy.
So are you saying that we as women, that we do not know how to control our money, that we are ignorant when it comes to money?
I wouldn't say ignorant, okay? That verbiage is a little aggressive. Let's tone it down. What I am saying to you is this. Women are impulsive. Men are more strategic. On average.
Can you please drill
hold on,
wait.
If we're having a conversation, your impulse, see right there, your impulse was to interrupt me.
No,
and because you heard something that triggered you.
No,
nothing
it did
you
not
say,
trigger me.
nothing you say can trigger me to interrupt you when you're having a thought, when you want to express yourself. But but you can't seem to control yourself, which means you impulsive.
That does not mean that I'm impulsive with money. Just because I checked you and asked you to drill down something and I questioned you about something, it does not mean that I am impulsive. Questioning someone does not mean that you're impulsive. Mm-hmm. Interrupting because I needed more clarity as to what you stated does not mean that I am impulsive. So once again, we are going to backtrack, okay? We're going to backtrack. And I see you're quiet. You're giving me my moment because you know that clarity is needed based on what you said. So, and you were just getting ready to interrupt me right there. So are you impulsive? Okay.
No.
Anyway, what I previously stated, are you saying, you said the verbiage was a bit harsh.
That's
you
not
wouldn't
what I
say,
said.
you wouldn't say ignorant.
I said aggressive.
Aggressive. Okay.
Let's learn to listen.
So drill it down for me. Since you're trying to paint the picture that men are better stewards of money than women. That's really what you're saying.
Okay. In order to receive clarity, there must be silence so one can speak and express. So what I'm teaching you is how to be quiet and learn to listen. There you go again. See, what I'm stating to you is, I can't really speak on all men. I can speak on me. You know what I'm saying? And what's truth about me? What's true about me is I am not impulsive. I have control. So when I go to a store, I have the money. I see something I like. If I want it, I get it. It's not an impulse. You understand what I'm saying? And women can't seem to control their urges to do right by their bank accounts, by their credit cards. That's why it's a lot of women in debt, a lot of women borrowing and begging and pleading and looking for somebody to be their Superman to save them, because they can't seem to get their shit together, because they can't seem to control the impulses within them to be, I don't know, superstar. I got on sunglasses, I got on the new heels, I got a $5,000 purse, but you ain't got $500. I don't understand it, but that's them. That's not me. What I'm telling you is gender roles, as it pertains to gender roles. Gender roles is this: the man is in control because the woman is impulsive. The woman is the reason, according to Christianity, why the Garden of Eden is not your home, because the woman wanted to eat that apple. Now, what I'm telling you is this: it's in a woman's nature to, they get bored, they want to do this, they want to do that. You have active brains, you have creative brains as women. That's why y'all wear makeup and do this and get your nails, all type of designs. You're creative. Your brain can't function on a consistency of certain things. It has to be fresh and new and this and that. Finance is not fresh and new. Finance is numbers. It's a bunch of boring shit. It's a bunch of shit that you gotta do every day in order to get something, to accumulate something. Every day it has to have structure, balance. Everything has to have checks and balances. Women can't check and balance. So, to answer your question, I don't think women can't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying men can more than women. I'm not saying that women can't, but men can more.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Winston. It's helpful. Do you have a woman?
Yes, I do.
You have a woman. Okay. In your relationship, does your woman make money decisions?
No. What explain money decisions? I mean, it's money decisions every day. Like, what exactly can you elaborate?
Absolutely. So, say for instance, you and your woman want to purchase something. It's talk of purchasing something. You would make the final decision as to if it would be purchased or not.
Again, it depends on what it is. Big purchase, small purchase, purchase that only affects her, or purchase that affects both of us. It depends. I'm not I don't I don't I'm not a controlling person. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a supportive person, and she's very happy. Obviously, and she has no problems, or at least she doesn't tell me that she has any problems with me establishing the role that I have in her life and in our house as the man that can take over if willing, if need be, all money purchases.
Okay. All right. So we've spent a little bit of time talking about finances, as it pertains to gender roles. Let's get into the cooking and cleaning piece there. Um, Most people would say that cooking and cleaning, keeping the house clean, that should be housed with the woman. What is your perspective on
I feel like all hands on deck on certain instances. But I don't. I, I'm not here to make a blanket statement saying what every household should be. I'm merely, whenever I'm talking, I'm only talking about what works for my household and the household that I live in. So I don't know. Maybe a man in Iowa knows how to cook and loves to cook. He's a culinary arts student and he just wants to cook every day. That's his form of expression, of showing his expression of love to his woman or man, whatever y'all into. I don't that's not my story. My story is I go to work.
that? Does your woman work?
Excuse me. I wasn't finished talking.
Oh, there was a pause there. I thought you were done. Proceed.
I go to work, and when I come home from work, I expect certain things. I expect a comfortable house, clean, with something to eat. After a man works hard, he comes home. He doesn't want to come in chaos. He wants to come in comfort. That's what I expect. That's what I deserve. I can't speak on what a man in Iowa want to do. I can't speak on any other household. I just know what works for me, what works for my comfort level, what works for my mental health, and everything else. So, if a man wants to cook and clean for his woman, I can't say anything to that. That's their household. That's what they want to do. So yeah.
But as for you and your house,
As for me and my house, I do cook.
you're getting a little tripped up there, a little tangled.
I have cooked. I have cleaned. But the majority of it, she does. She handles that. As she should, because she does work, but she works from home, so she's home all the time. So if you're at home all the time, you can at least grab a broom and get to sweep it.
Even though your woman has, and I know your woman, even though she has a very busy schedule, sometimes, hectic, Still your expectation, huh?
Yeah.
But she manages to get it done.
And more power to her. She's a strong black woman, driven, intelligent, highly intelligent, with great potential. But I had to come into her life and change certain things. You almost tipped the microphone over when you turned, sweetheart. I had to come into her life and change certain things, rearrange. So basically, spring cleaning within her life to get her just right. Next question, please.
I'm sorry, I cannot even proceed to the next question because you had to come in and do spring cleaning. Your woman had to teach you a couple of things.
Okay.
I believe when you all first got together, you were a little bit disrespectful there, crazy. So she had to wheel you in, and through that process, you have grown and evolved into this man, this king. So your woman saw the potential there, but not quite sure if any other woman ever put you to the test and called you out on your bullshit. And so, ladies, I think a lot of times, and I know we're kind of going a different direction here, if you feel that that other person is worth it, and if you see it in them, you have to call them out on it. And then it's up to them. The ball is in their court, whether they want to proceed with the relationship or whether it needs to end. So that's my take on there. So glad that you got your stuff together. Glad that you have evolved into the strong black man that you are. And most of all, glad that you have patience. Glad that you opened up your heart to love and to receive love, because that's what you deserve. So, I'm going to transition here because you made that statement. I had to say a little bit. So going to transition, we're talking about the household, talking about what works for you. Again, you said no, it's not a blanket statement. It's just what works for you in your household. We talked about finances. We talked about cooking. We talked about cleaning. Let's talk about respect. I've heard previously, and correct me if I'm wrong, that men desire to be respected more than anything. Do you feel that is true?
Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate?
Well, that goes with the basics of communication. To communicate, to send messages, there has to be some sort of respect there. Again, let me go back to the documentary that I saw today. The wolf pack. Communication within the wolf pack. There are noises. We have words. They have noises. You know how wolves do they be howling at the moon?
Yes.
They are sending messages, communication. Some of it is defensive, telling the sounds that they are projecting from their voices. Send messages to other wolf packs telling them to stay away. This is my territory. That's a form of respect. If animals can do that and show respect in their communities, their species, humans can do it as well. Respect and communication goes hand in hand. The alpha male in a wolf pack sends a message. You better not touch that liver. You better not touch. They growl. They growl. That's a warning. Humans, human beings, male, female, interaction, all of that. Relationships. Respect. You can't talk to me without respect. The communication process breaks down immediately. There is nothing you can say to me without respecting me first. You can disrespect me all you want without interacting with me, but when you interact with me, I'm not talking about nobody else, I'm talking me. When you interact with me, you must show respect or the communication breaks down. There is no communication. Because now I got to be defensive. Now I got to howl at the moon. Now I got to tell you, you better back the fuck up or you get smacked the fuck up. But I'm not violent in any way. So what I'm saying to you is respect is the basics. That's primary. That's primates. That's any mammal, any species on this planet shows respect when communicating, or there's death, or there's violence. And human beings is the same way. That's my take on that. Hopefully that answered your question. I'm sure it did.
You sound very passionate about respect.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have respect. Don't show respect, and then they wonder why their life is fucked up. They wonder why shit don't go their way. You gotta know the basics. You gotta know. You gotta crawl before you ball. You gotta show respect to get respect. You're not entitled. One thing I hate in life and anywhere else is somebody that feels they are entitled to respect. No, you show respect to get respect. You show. It's not humbling. It's not to be humble and bow down to somebody, but to listen. Like when somebody's talking, you don't interrupt them because you have to show respect for the contributions that they bring to any conversation. You must respect the words that come out their mouth. Even if you don't like them, you have to show them that I am willing to be quiet in order to listen to you. I'm not waiting to speak. I'm listening, active listening. So respect is important.
Respect is important. Okay. So do you respect your woman?
I do respect my woman. Yes.
Well, didn't have a lot to say with that one. Okay.
What do you want me to say?
No, nothing.
I respect my woman, and I show respect to my woman through my actions, through what I do, through who I am. So, I mean, not everything has to be said in order to be felt or heard. I don't have to say it for you to hear it. Respect is shown. So, yeah.
Okay. We've talked about respect. We've talked about the household. We have talked about money. Are there any topics that you want to talk about as it pertains to gender roles?
Well, I want to say that gender roles is a topic not for men to be talking about. It's more women. See, women, and I say within the past 10 to 20 years, have come to this crossroad where they don't feel like they need a man until they need a man. It's a bunch of lonely, miserable, pathetic, bald head bitches out here who don't who who speak for the collective, but they shouldn't. It should be more happy. Uh, it should be more happy, content, balanced women running around saying how beautiful love is and how beautiful black men are and what the contributions they bring to their lives. But it's a bunch of these broke, loser, single hoes running around getting STD after STD, taking and popping all the goddamn antibiotics, trying to get that itch out, and they mad because maybe they baby daddy is on Facebook counting $800 in $20 bills on video and happy about that. They're miserable and they don't understand gender roles. So when you talk to them about gender roles, it's like, oh, I don't need no motherfucker. That's because the man that you decided to have a baby with, the man who you date, ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit, got shit stains in his drawers, and he don't even know it because he ain't washed up in a while. But these are the ones that's talking about gender roles and the hatred of black men. How do you feel about the black man? How do you feel about gender roles? Because it's not about me. It's not about how I feel, what I think, what I believe, because I ain't the problem. It's the women, the black women, the black BLACK women who have a problem. So to you, Miss Thing, how do you feel about the black man? How do you feel about gender roles? How do you feel about men in finance? How do you feel about baby daddies being on Facebook counting $800 and $20 bills? How do you feel about all of it? The floor is yours. Please talk slowly, be precise, and make it happen.
Again, very, very passionate about this topic. I hear the passion in your voice and the skid marks and shit stains that you always bring some humor to the conversation. Facts, but humor. Let me just say this. I am going to be very transparent I'm not going to speak for all women. But I am going to speak for a group or category of women, I believe. I have friends, I know women who are in my tribe, and most of the women that I know are at least making 90 grand or more, 6 figures. So let me just start there. And we as women, when we get to a certain level in our career, when we make a certain amount of money, some women, let me backtrack, some women, we feel that, what can you do for me? I don't need you financially. I don't need you to buy me anything. I don't need you to take me on trips. I can go to Paris by myself. I can go to Italy by myself. I can go to Spain by myself. I don't need you financially. Now, what I may need you for, of course, I know what you all are thinking, is the physical. But the game changes when you don't need a man financially. So women, what am I saying? What I'm saying is when you are financially stable, you are able to attract and pick from the high-hanging fruit. The game changes. You don't have to go out with Bill, who don't have his finances together. The game It just changes. Now, you asked me the question about how do I feel about black men. I think, again, this is me, this is Ray speaking. I think that black men are one of the most beautiful creatures that God put on the face of this earth. Why? And I know I'm getting ready to offend a lot of women, because we as women, some of us, we think we can do it by ourselves. We think we can raise children on our own. That's not how God designed it. We were designed biblically to be a helpmate, not a hinderer, but a helpmate. So what does helping a black man mean? Helping a black man does not mean that you're giving him all your money. That's not what I'm saying. Helping a black man looks like supporting him. Helping a black man looks like encouraging him. Have you ever tapped into the mind of a black man and provided him so much encouragement that he feels that he can knock a wall down just with his hands? So that answers the question of what do I think of black men. I strongly and truly believe in love. If that's really what you want, if that's what you desire. I believe that a man and a woman, again, I'm only speaking about men and women. I believe that a man and a woman, they can coexist, and it could be a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And I don't think we see a lot of that. I, from time to time, go on social media, and it disturbs me, which is an entirely different conversation that I could have with women. You want a man with a certain amount of money. You want him to have, this career. You want that elite man. But look at how you present yourself on social media. He'll sleep with you, but he's not going to wife you. He'll sleep with you at night and treat you like you a roach. He's not going to be seen with you out during the day. You're not worthy. You're not worthy. And I think if women would really evaluate and come to grips with how we really feel about ourselves and really do the work, you could be able to attract the type of man that you are looking for. So to answer your question, I strongly believe in love. I support, believe, love, and adore the black man that I have. Any other questions?
Yes, you've covered everything, but how do you feel about the women who talk down on black men? How do you feel about the nappy-headed, matted head, bogus couple of baby daddies running around, club hopping, hoes that's running around talking about this, that, and the third about the black man? Can you please speak to that? Do you support those women? Do you interact with those women? Do you agree with those women? Were you one of those women? Let me know. Let us know.
No, I was not one of those women. Do I support those women in their message towards black men? Absolutely not. Again, it goes back to how they see themselves. A lot of times people want to deflect, and they don't really want to deal with the reality of what they're in, what they're dealing with, the decisions that they've made. And you can make a bad decision, but are you resilient? How do you bounce back from it? What does your bounce back look like? So, my question is, where is their tribe? Where's their mother? Where's their father? Where is anyone to pull their coattail and have a fierce conversation with them? And I often tell people, I don't want friends and people in my circle who agree with me all the time. I need somebody to be able to tell me, right, no, that's wrong. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. I wouldn't do it this way. Try it this way. And so if you cannot be 100% with your quote unquote friends, if you cannot pull their coattail, then maybe you need to evaluate the people that you do have in your circle. And again, women, you don't want people in your circle that are just like you. You want people in your circle who are different. For example, if you're a single woman, you desire to be married, there's nothing wrong with having that desire. Surround yourself with some married women who can give you some sound wisdom and guidance. Do not surround yourself with women who hang out at the club, who, hey, Pooh. I don't even have friends that talk like that. But no, I don't. I don't have friends that talk like that. Surround yourself with some sophisticated women. Doesn't mean that you're dumb. Doesn't mean that you're slow. You're trying to get to where they are. So you want people, for instance, if you want to save more money, or if you are looking to be more financially savvy, surround yourself with somebody who's financially literate. That's how you do it. But I think sometimes we surround ourselves with people who are yes people and people where you're comfortable. If you're comfortable all the time, if your circle is too comfortable, it's not the circle for you. It's not the circle for you. If your friends are not tapping into that creative part, if they're not helping you level up, you need to evaluate the people that you have in your life because they're dead weight. So in short, no, I do not condone that. I think these are women who have obviously suffered trauma in some shape or form. Women who have not done the work on themselves. Women who do not really want to look in the mirror. And sometimes when you look in the mirror, you don't like the reflection. But you have to be able to do the work to get to where you need to be. Otherwise, you just create a vicious cycle.
Last question. I want you to be very, very precise in answering this one. Got a scenario for you.
Mm-hmm.
Girl comes up to you. She's in her 20s. 2 baby daddies. She ain't got no money in her bank account. She need advice. Her family shuns her. Nobody likes her. Her friends talk down on her. She all the way fucked up. You take her. You got an hour. Because you on your lunch break or whatever. You say, come with me. We going to Sip and Pain or sip and sniff. I don't know what y'all do. You take her and you tell her something. What would you give? What advice? What pulling of the coat, as you said earlier? Mm-hmm. How would you, in an hour, her money ain't straight, her baby daddy's broke, they want to be rappers, the baby crying, she hungry, the baby hungry, she thinking about drinking her own breast milk. What do you do in an hour to get her back on track? Tell me. She's a young black woman struggling. How would you go about it? She hate men too. She hate men. She's one of those women I was just talking about. What would you say to her? The floor is yours. Please be as precise as possible.
Well, that's a loaded question. Very loaded. You said be as precise. I'm more of a concise person, but okay. First, let me say this. I don't think anyone on the face of this earth is in the position to judge anybody. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we look back and was like, man, that was messed up. But look at me now. So my position would be not to judge her. I don't know what her early years were like. I don't know what she experienced, the trauma she experienced. So me, you hear it all the time, drill down, root cause analysis. What is the root cause for this behavior? Because she's on the path to self-destruct. So what is the root cause? I like how you painted the scenario. A lot of times food disarms people. Where they open up when you break bread with someone. It disarms them. Where they can begin to open up and tell you what's going on. The when, the why, the how, the where. And this is not only a young woman, but now it's a young woman with 2 children. So the urgency is so important that she really begins to open up and recognize the path that she's on. My first question, and it may not be my first question, but what was her childhood like? Where's her mother? Where's her father? What are those relationships like? What does her support look like? And if she does not have a support, I would be a resource to point her in the direction of support. And I think that's what is missing. We find when people fall down or when they are experiencing hard times, we talk about them, we laugh, and we put our mouth on them. When that could very well be you. That could very well be somebody in your family that's close to you. So I don't think we have the right to judge anybody. And biblically, the Bible says that he that is without sin, let him cast the first stone. We don't have the right to condemn anybody. So I would see my objective would be to point her to the people or places that could be of a great resource for her and her children. Is she working? Does she need child care? What does that look like? How can I help you find childcare while you go and look for a job? Do you need interviewing skills? Do you need clothes? Like, is there a program? I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know if it's alcohol. I don't. So there would just be a series of questions that I think after talking to her, and 1 hour is not enough, where it would just unfold. And most of all, show her love. I think the root of all of this is because people haven't received love. And when you have not been loved correctly, you look for it in other forms. And so one of the things that stated for 2022, be more empathetic. If you know me, you know what that means. But definitely to really show her love, and what does that look like? And I think a lot of young women, they don't know what love is. If I love you, I don't want anything from you. I don't. And I don't think young women get that. If a man really loves you, he's not going to hurt you. He's not going to shame you. He's not going to embarrass you. A man of honor, he protects his woman at all costs. They protect each other. But I would definitely start there. Lots of questions about childhood. Then I would ask her, what is it that she wants to do? Because if she doesn't have money, she's going to have to find a source of income. What is it that she wants to do? How can I help you get to where you want to be? And I think that we as women, if we spent more time helping other women and supporting them, it would alleviate a lot of what they're feeling. Because we have wisdom to give. Because some of us, we've been there, done that, or we maybe haven't been all the way there. But we have some light and some wisdom to help you make it through. And people just need encouragement and to know that they can get out of the situation that they are in. But in everything that we do, do it with love.
Great answer. I look forward to listening back to this. It's been 48 minutes. We talked about gender roles. We talked about men and women and respect. We talked about it all. Any closing statements you want to say?
I would just like to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really did. I think it's helpful to hear the male perspective as well as the female perspective when we talk about certain topics. So thank you.
No, thank you. And you have a magnificent day.